musicians and choir members, and to our visitor from my home state. Amen. I don't know the brother, but he's a good brother because he's in the right place. Amen. To all of you. It is good to be in the church, isn't it?
Amen.
It is good to be a born again member of God's church.
Amen.
Think about it. Every good movement that has happened in this world was born out of the church. The Red Cross came out of the church. Salvation Army came out of the church. The civil rights movement might have started on a bus, but the foundation was built in a church.
Amen.
The leader of the movement was a church pastor. All of our cultural lessons mostly were born out of the church. And for African Americans, we could not have survived had it not been for the church. Through slavery, we came through the church. Out of lynchings, Jim Crowism, discrimination, segregation, abuse, and misuse. But we came through it out of the church. All of our music came out of the church. From Aretha to Gladys. Came out of the church. Four Tops to the Spinners. Came out of the church. From Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson through Marvin Gaye and John Lennon. Came out of the church. All of our music came out of the church. We came out of the church. Prayed for by the church. Sung to by the church. Led by the church. Loved by the church. We wouldn't be where we are had it not been for the church. It wouldn't be working where you work if it hadn't been for the church. Wouldn't be living where you live if it hadn't been for the church. The church has meant a lot to African Americans. Thank God for the church. Somebody ought to give God some praise right over there. For just to be a part of the church. And yet the church, sometimes it seems like it looks like it's guilty of false advertising.
Wow.
Sometimes the church acts as though it's guilty of spiritual malpractice. We look one way and live another way. And that's seen in Mark chapter 9. Jesus had been up on the Mount of Transfiguration. The glory, the very glory of God had came out of him physically. Moses and Elijah came from glory to make that meeting. And as the meeting closed down, before it closed down, God said, "This is my beloved Son. Hear ye him." And he comes down the mountain. But he left 9 disciples at the bottom of the mountain, representative of the church. Jesus on the mountain represents our time, for he's now up in glory, but he left us down here on earth. And just like people bring people to us, while they were at the bottom of the mountain, when Jesus made his descent down the mountain, there came a man, a father, who had a demon-possessed son. And he said, I brought my son to your disciples. Let me put it another way. I brought my son to the church. I'd heard about y'all. Passed by your church. I heard you singing, rocking, and socking. I heard you testify that you got power. So I brought my boy to the church. My boy was in bad condition. My boy was demon possessed. Ain't that just like our world? A lot of our boys, demon possessed. A lot of our boys, in our boys, are demon activities. Call it what you want, but that's what it is. Amen. When you just drive by and shoot anybody, that's demon activity. Amen. I brought my boy to the church, but they couldn't do nothing. Brought my boy to the new city. Gang banging boy. They didn't do nothing. It's an indictment on the church. And let me just drop this in on you. The devil doesn't care about your title. He's not impressed with the letters behind your name. He's not impressed if they call you a Reverend Dr. Bishop, President or Chairman. Hell don't get nervous because you got some money in the bank. The devil gets nervous when he knows you are anointed. And he knows that in the name of Jesus you can cast out demons. Yeah. In the name of Jesus you can lay hands on the sick and they will recover. In the name of Jesus, the folk who are burdened will be delivered. That's what shakes the devil up. So Jesus said to the disciples when he got to the bottom of the mountain, he said, you faithless. He said, what? Y'all ain't got no faith. He said, how long do I have to put up with y'all? With your false advertisement, malpractice, action. While we're in here now, right around the corner, there's some gun totes. You might need one of them on your way home. All right, amen, somebody. To everybody. He said, how long do I have to put up with y'all? Like y'all are. That got to me. I don't know whether y'all felt that the other day. But Sister Spratt, I just remember that, y'all. I can't get over that. Up in the pulpit trying to teach a lesson, and she gets sick. And some of y'all down there wondering, what are you going to do now? He been talking about, give God some praise. What are you going to do now? But aren't you glad that you know that you know that you know that God's got his hands on you? And when stuff happens, only thing you got to do is stand and call on the name of Jesus and watch Jesus work. If he works back there, He'll work up here. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Somebody ought to give God some praise. Now let's go to our buying taxi. We're going home. Watch what he says. You got your Bible? If you got a real Bible, this statement is in red letters. But if yours don't have red letters, that's all right too. It's still a Bible. Amen? Amen. Watch what he says. Jesus says, see, try this side first. You are the salt of the earth. See, they don't know when to shout. You are the salt of the earth. Amen. One more time, 3 times, that ought to make it. You are the salt of the earth. Amen. Y'all ain't saying it. Y'all don't got it. Let me try this side. Another thing. Y'all a little thinner. Maybe y'all will get it. Y'all ain't ashamed. Y'all ain't ashamed to give God some glory. You are the light of the world. I'm gonna say what? You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. He said, I don't have nobody else, but I got you. And since I got you, you are the salt of the earth. Y'all don't know when to shout. I don't care where you went last night. You are the salt of the earth. I don't care if you cussed this morning. You are the salt of the earth. Y'all listen. I don't care what you drunk last night to go to sleep. You are the salt of the earth. Y'all ain't get it. I don't care who you were with last night. You are the salt of the earth. God told me to tell you, you're already somebody. Amen. You're already special. You're already his child. You're already his influence. You're already his seasoning. You're already his preservative on the earth. Come on, somebody. Amen. You are the salt of the earth. Anybody remember anything about chemistry? Salt, table salt, is 1 part table salt is made up of 1 atom of sodium and 1 atom of chloride, or you could call it chlorine. That's table salt. But there are different types of salt.
All right.
You can exchange the 1 for a 3, and you get a different kind of salt. You can exchange the 1 for a 6, and you get a different kind of salt. But they tell me in the Far East, the salt there was 9 atoms, 1 metal, 9 atoms of sodium, 1 metal, and then 9 atoms of chloride, and 1 gas. It's different from our salt. I was seasoning some meat last night, and I was looking through the pantry. I don't put salt on my food much anymore. But I say, since it's Labor Day, and I'm going to be on that pit, I just as well season up good.
All right, Elder.
So I got my pepper, got my garlic powder, my smoked paprika, but I didn't have no salt. And I kept looking, and I found some salt
It was some old salt. Box had started to fade. But when I put the salt in my hand, licked the salt, it was still salty. Jesus said, I love it. I love God's word. Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth. And I don't know why Jesus does this, but he don't leave stuff alone. He doesn't leave well alone. You know when he said in that prayer, Our Father, forgive me my trespasses, as I forgive others. It looked like he would have stopped right there. But he said, now, but if you don't forgive, I ain't going to forgive you. I said, Lord, why didn't you leave good enough alone? I got to forgive some of them niggas. Come on, y'all know how it is. Here, it would have been good if he'd have left it alone. When he said, Richard, you are the salt of the earth. And then he said, but when salt has lost his savor, it ain't good for nothing. He just told you you were salt. Now he warned you that if you become contaminated with something else, then you ain't no good no more. Could I ask y'all a question? In God's kingdom, what good are you?
All right, Elder. Amen.
Well, let me tell you about salt in that area. Since it had all of them, the ingredients of those 9, it was good as long as it did not stay exposed to the elements. It was good as long as it didn't get too much exposure to the sun. It was good as long as the rain didn't get on it too long. It was good as long as it didn't stay in bad weather. And what Jesus is telling us is that salt has to always be different from its environment. Y'all missed it.
All right.
Salt cannot be what salt was made to preserve. Y'all missed it. If you act too much like the world, God can't use you. If you get too close to the things of the world, you become useless to God.
Yep.
If you shout on Sunday morning and act the devil on Sunday night, you ain't no good to the kingdom. If you tell everybody on Sunday morning you love them and cuss like a sailor when you walk out the door, you ain't no good. He said you can't be what I sent you to preserve.
All right.
And some of y'all are too much like the elements that God sent you to change. Help me, Lord. Some of us are too hooked on the temporal. We're too close to temporary stuff. We're too busy to pray, too burdened to read the Bible, ain't got time to come to Sunday school. Don't have the room to make it to Bible study. And some of y'all have a hard time coming to church on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
He just made a blanket statement. He said, you are the salt of the earth.
Yes, sir.
You are the light of the world.
Right.
But he said, salt, if you have lost your tastiness, you ain't good for nothing.
Right. Right.
Preach it in the pulpit. but ain't never won nobody to Christ. Over here. Singing in the choir loft. But ain't nobody up there because you up there.
What you say, Pastor?
Some of y'all, I ain't never seen you bring nobody to church with you.
Man.
Oh, help me.
Come on now.
He said, listen, first thing, you ought to be zesty. Folks ought to look at your life and want to taste like you taste.
Yeah.
The church is here to season the world. And we act more like the world than the world act like the church.
Amen.
Preach, Reverend.
Amen.
We're not here to be seasoned by them. We're here to season them.
Amen.
He said, you are the salt of the earth. And the you are is in the imperative, which means that you do this all the time. You don't act like this on Sunday morning and then act the devil on Monday night. Preach, Reverend. He said there ought to be some consistency in your life. Doesn't matter where you are. You ought to let the world know that you've been with Jesus. He said, you ought to have some. Could I ask you a question? Do you ever wonder why the sky is still in its place? You ever wonder why the bottom, all this mess in the world hasn't fallen out yet? It's because the church is on the world. When God takes the church out of the world, all hell's going to break loose. So we got a job to do. We have a purpose to live by. We have some influencing to do. I know it's tight, but it's right. The church should be a place that's alive. You should come up in church and sit on a row like you are not on a log. You ought to come up in here to give God some glory. Give God some praise. I'm almost done. But do you ever think about the number of people that didn't make it to the hospital?
Amen.
Then you ever think about those who made it to the hospital, but they didn't make it back home?
Amen.
And God bless you to be up in here this morning. Amen. So you ought to be giving God some glory. Then he says, you are the light of the world. The implication is, Jesus is saying that the world in itself is dark. He's saying that the world is a dark place. And he's saying that the statement implies that we are the only lights in the world.
Amen.
If the world is going to see any light, they have to see it in us.
Amen.
Well, the statement seems real. It's a good statement, but you have to take it out of this context or put it in its context. We hear these words through 21st century ears. When Jesus spoke these words, it was heard mostly by 12 men, 12 disciples. They were fishermen, One was a tax collector. The others were laborers. They were common people. One of them denied him 3 times. One of them was messed up enough to betray him. All of them ran off and left him. Maybe you get this now. But he said to them, you are the light of the world. So that means ain't nobody in here that's not important to God.
Amen.
All of us in here got some baggage. All of us in here have been tore up from the floor up. All of us have been at the bottom when the bottom was our top. But God says to us this morning that you are the light of the world. I believe if I ain't talking to nobody, but Cora Pennington. I know she thought she was going to slip up in here and not just eat. But if God ain't talking to nobody but me and Cora, God is saying to us this morning, I don't care where you've been, you are my light.
Amen.
I don't care what you have done, you are my light.
Amen.
I don't care how low you think you are, you are my light.
Amen.
And God told me to tell you when you leave here this morning, remember that you are God's light.
Amen.
I don't care what the devil try to do to you, you are God's light. I don't care what you've been through, you are God's light. I don't care how many bills you got, you are God's light. I don't care how broke you are God's light. I don't care how many addictions you have, you are still God's light. I don't care how messed up you might think you are God's light. Somebody ought to give God some glory right up in there. I don't care how down you are God's light. And God told me to tell you to let your light shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. When you feel like it, let it shine. When you don't feel like it, let it shine. When you're up, let it shine. When you're shouting, let it shine. When you're crying, let it shine. When the load is heavy, let it shine.